Hello, how's it going? It is a Thursday afternoon, and we're going to be doing some vinyl confessions today. Picked up some new stuff. Can't wait to check it out. November rocks, man.
Dig it! Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Well, all right. Let's get rid of this here, and then let's talk, shall we? It's been a minute, but not that long, just last week. Was hoping to have done something on Halloween, but it's been a busy time. In fact, I'm trying to see if I even have, I tried to get a video together real quick here, and then last thing I knew, I'm like, oh my God, the time is running out. So I'm just going to double check and see what happened with this file. I did a quick video of my listening room, which is what we're calling it. Can't call it the music room. Music room is where I play music. So it's it's down to semantics. Okay, yeah, that looks little. All right, we'll see if I can use it. I don't know if I can or not. But anyway, don't want to be here too long today. But I do want to talk about this vinyl that I picked up. I picked up quite a bit lately. All right. So one of the places that I picked some stuff up is, you know what? That's kind of interesting too. Was a place called HITT Records, HITT Records. It's over in Columbia, Missouri, and it's a nice shop. Here's see if I can get this in here real quick. This is their Halloween sticker they were giving out for the season. So there you go, HITT Records, Columbia, Missouri. Yeah, they buy, sell, trade like most everywhere else. And a couple of real cool guys in there. I didn't only hit the discount section, but mainly I hit the discount section. Really, mainly. Barely looked at anything else. They had I love discount sections, and I'll tell you why shortly. So, so the main thing is I went over to hang out with a friend of mine, took him a couple of big mirrors because his daughter is into dancing, and I thought, they could maybe do a little studio in their house. And so took him over a couple of mirrors, and then we were running around the afternoon that I got there. And I said, you got any record stores around? And he goes, oh, yeah. So he took me to this place, which is in a little building there. And if I can, I'll see if I can pull up a photo of the place too, because that would be helpful. Let's see if I can do that real quick. Let's see. But it's adjacent to this shop, a coffee shop, and you can walk in, get a coffee, and then they allow you to walk on in to the record store with your coffee, and you can hang out there. So let me see if I can save this photo. Should not take very long at all, and I can show you a picture. Again, my apologies for not having it in here already. Just always seems to be something. And I think I say that every show. So at least I'm consistent. All right, cool. Let's see here. Should be able to pop this in real fast. And hope everybody else is doing good today. I hope you all had a good Halloween. I don't know what you did for it. Did you watch any cool films? We were talking about some. In fact, I've got a note from one of my hopeful future guests. Yeah, here it is. So here's a photo of this shop. So you can see they have Ragtag. Is that the coffee place? Yeah, it must be the coffee place. Yeah, you just go right in there to Ragtag, and then you see the record store right next to it. And you just walk through the door, and you can go in and do all your shopping. I asked them straight away. I said, do you have a discount area? And he said, yep. Or bargain bin is probably what I said. And he goes, yeah, over underneath the stairs and then right across from it. Then one of the other gentlemen came over and said, there's also those crates down there. I'm like, oh my God. And that's right around the time we got to knowing that was when the my buddy said, hey, we got to get going because we got to get the kids. I'm like, okay. So I pulled out one of the crates real quick, like, and I was flipping through it. I got through like the first third of it and stopped because I found two things that flipped me out. Wait till you see what those are. What is up? All right, all right. Powerbach rules. There you go. Hello, everybody. And Thor, that's me. I've been listening to a ton of random stuff on my sound bar lately, but am hopefully going to play video games here and again soon. Yeah, you and me both. I got some games I got to play. Didn't do anything for Halloween much, huh? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I hung out. We did the candy for the kids and stuff like that. We didn't have a ton of trick-or-treaters. We don't get a lot right here in our little neighborhood here, but that's the way it goes. So yeah, but good times. So let's get started with this vinyl. Also, just to let you know, I did watch this, really enjoyed it. However, I've got a note on it. I have something to show you too. So this came in this little cardboard cover, right? Like a CD. Well, that doesn't look so good on the shelf full of DVDs back here, right? So I have a bunch of empty cases. So I'm going to put it in there, and I have one that holds 2 discs, right? So I'm making my own cover for it. I did a little bit of a thing. So you see what this looks like. And then here's a photo of what I did. So you'll see it next to each other here. So here's the original on the, well, it's, I guess if I'm looking at it, it's on the right. On the left here is what I came up with. That was my design. 2 shots, since it was only Dave Meniketti on the front, I did 2 shots of Meniketti, a newer one and the classic 80s one with the guitar. See the guitar? So there is a little something in there, though, that it's the same old thing, right? I've talked about this before on the show, where you're watching these documentaries, right? You're waiting for that moment. You're a big fan. You're in it. You're in. You got it. You know what's going on. Then you're watching it. You're waiting. Here comes the moment, because either it's about somebody's career, and like the Tom Petty thing. They didn't talk about the movie FM at all. Linda Ronstadt's, they didn't talk about that at all. And I was like waiting, because that was a big thing for me. I was like, okay, here it comes. This is the time frame, and then nothing. So kind of drives me nuts. Well, in this, I'm waiting. I do have to admit, I got a little emotional watching this, because of the fact when I didn't know what was going to be included. I didn't know who was going to be included, because I wasn't hip to it being made back in, I think they started working on it in 2016. And so I wasn't hip to who was in it, who was talking about things. And Joey Alves was in it. And he and I had gotten to be friends back in the day when he was let go from the band, right before he was let go from the band. I think I told the story about how he and I met. So if you don't know that story, just ask me sometime. And so when he hit the screen, I was like, wow, there's Joey. So they were talking about when he was let go and how all that happened and why and stuff like that. I'm cool with that, but then I'm ready for the information about when they were working with Ronnie Montrose, because at the time when I met Joey, they were working on the next record after Contagious, and he was supposed to be producing it. Well, he was producing it at the time, and he even wrote a song for the band, which sounds like Y&T. It was really cool that Ronnie Montrose, wrote this song that's not like, well, here's this really cool song I wrote, and then, hands it over. Well, I think you guys ought to do this. No, he wrote it for the band. It was called New Kid in Town, and appears, their version of it recorded appears on the Unearthed 2 discs. I don't remember if it's 1 or 2. I think it's on 1. But yeah. So anyway, he was working with them at the time, and then right after I met Joey, that's when they stopped working with him, and there was a big shift and a big change. They didn't put the song on the record. They did 10 eventually that came out with Steph Burns instead of Joey, and still Jimmy DeGrasso on drums. There's some great songs on that album. I don't think it's a great album. There was a gentleman for whom I was writing some articles and doing photography for it that was local, and he said it should have been a Grammy winner, and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think so. Again, not that it's a horrible record. It's just, eh, I just didn't think it stacked up. I thought Contagious was better. So anyway, that was their second release on Geffen, and those were their only 2 releases on Geffen. So anyway, it's a great flick, though. Great interviews, lots of stuff with Leonard Hayes and with Joey Alves before their passing. So that was more than I expected, and just great interviews with the guys who are now in the band, and it was a great story. I just wish they would have mentioned that. So I'm going to check out the extras and stuff. I don't know if they said anything in there about that time frame, but anyway, so that's that. Let's get to the vinyl. Now, I've had I had a friend of mine who was also selling some vinyl, so I bought some things from him too recently. My kids probably don't watch this show, so I'll show you what I got because I bought a couple of things for them. Um, if they do end up watching this, then good. Then I know that they watch. So anyway, um, but I went back because I only had so much money that day in cash. So I did go back, and that's when I got things for my kids too. Um, so let's go through that first. Um, First of all, I told you about I was in Wisconsin. Spin Shack is in Baraboo, Wisconsin. Check it out. Great shop. And I found a copy of this there. Now, my friend had a copy of this, and this one looks pretty close to what they had up there. And he gave me a real good bargain on this. It was 15 up there. He gave it to me for 5. So it's great to have it back. Another video, in another video, I'm going to do a little research about this. I've already done some research about what to use, but I need to get some of those products. But what I want to do is see if I can get rid of this. I want to clean this album up and get rid of this dirt. And we'll see if I can do that. So if you remember right, this was in my Mava case, right? The mysterious alien vinyl abduction case. This is one that disappeared on me. And I will say I'm happy to have replaced it with the original. This is one of the original pressings. It has the textured cover, so it's pretty cool. So I'll be very careful while I'm cleaning that. But I do want to clean that up. I think it deserves it. I also picked this up. This was part of the Mava case as well. Southern Accents by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Great record. I love this album. Got it. It came out when I was just heading for college. And of course, Don't Come Around Here No More is on here. Rebels is my favorite tune, though. I love that song. Reminded me of my roommate back in college. He kind of went by that name. This was kind of neat. Hadn't expected to get this, and probably didn't really have to get it, but this is an album that went through some remasterings, and I am eager to hear this once I get my setup done over here. And it's Black Sabbath, Mob Rules. Now, this one is cool because it's pretty much brand new, and it's a gatefold, so that's really cool. I love the fact that it's got a gatefold on it. So let's take a look at that real quick. Look at this. Wow. So here you go. Here's a bunch of, I guess these are a bunch of different pieces of art that came out around that time. There we go. On the back. Cover is always fantastic. I just watched the Lord of the Rings movies, and this is a Hildebrandt Brothers cover. Um, and it is, you know what, I have to, yeah, this is a Greg Hildebrandt did this one. So sometimes they would work together. Most times they work together, but sometimes they would do their own things too. So look at that. Whole There's the back cover. This is the original back cover. And then on here there's a whole mess of stuff that I'll probably make into a reading video for you. And go through that information. So that'd be cool. We'll do that. I won't go through putting all that back in there just yet. Let's just put it down because I don't want to be on here forever. Reassembling all these. I can do that in a little bit. Now, here's another thing. I'll start with this one. It's not the one that's on top, but this one was cool because big Angel fan, been seeing them a lot lately. And this was their anniversary edition of this, which I didn't get a copy of, which I may be able to still get a copy of it. I think you can get it not signed. Um, so I saw this in there and I'm like, okay. He gave me a good price on it, which is better than buying it new. And I'm like, great, that's cool. So yeah, look at that. All the photo stuff, looking good on the sleeve. There's the back cover with big old letters. Look at that. So yeah, 50th anniversary. That is cool. I love it. So yeah, got that one. And then, of course, since it was a good price, gave this to me for $5 as well. Was a copy of On Earth as It Is in Heaven, which you've seen me get before. This one also has the Casablanca sleeve on the inside and includes um, the poster. So the copy that I got many years ago when I bought it as a cutout after learning about Angel, um, and like in 79, 80, um, by then the cutouts had a plain white sleeve and it didn't have the poster. So I didn't know, especially with White Hot, I didn't know it had a printed sleeve and in it, and I didn't know that this had a poster in it. So I kept seeing this poster that was in here, and I'm like, what? What? I didn't get a poster, yeah, because I got it late. So anyway, um, so those are what I picked up from him the first time around, and then I had also noticed these two. Now this one is part of my Mava list as well. The Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell. Now, I bought these from a friend of mine who was doing a production of Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I was going to be playing Eddie, the Meatloaf part, and um, he also in that show the show was going to open with him with him and the band behind him playing this entire record. So I was able to, you know, be in there for rehearsals, and these guys were killing it. This They were all over it. So this is like an original copy, which mine disappeared. And so he had this, and I was like, oh, I'll take that. He gave me a good price on it. I was very happy with that. So that was excellent. Um, but then he had two copies of it, and one of them is the reissue on red vinyl. So I know that my daughter would love this record, and so I will I will sacrifice the red vinyl, and I'm going to be giving that to her. So that'll be a gift to my daughter. My wife's like, "Does she like that record?" I go, "She's going to love the record. She already knows some of the songs." Um, and for my son, he had a couple of good copies of this album, which these guys are getting ready to go back on tour. They got a new drummer and they're going to be doing the tour thing. I don't know if they're going to be doing new records, but they're touring again, as they said, because the songs deserve to be played, which I'm sure the drummer would agree. And my son told me not too long ago that this is his favorite album by them. And I said, it's mine too. And it's Farewell to Kings. So I have a copy of this already on vinyl. Mine's in pretty dang good shape too. But this one was beautiful as well. So I purchased that one for him. So a couple of things for the kids. Um, all right. So that takes care of the things I got from my friend. Let's go through the things that I picked up at Hit Records. I do want to make one little statement here beforehand because my friend uh, Bethany was they just got back from a tour. The Graham Bonnet Band just got back from a tour over in the UK, and um, she was mentioning that she was listening to 80s new wave, and so in the post I wrote a comment in there saying, if you've never heard Bill Nelson's Red Noise, make sure that you check that out because it's great. You have to check it out on, you can't, it's not on Spotify. I don't think it's on Apple, but I'm not sure about Apple, but I know it's not on Spotify. A lot of Bill Nelson stuff is on Spotify, but not this. And it's kind of like Vinnie Vincent Invasion. That first album's not out there either. I had to load those on my telephone. It's my telephone. It is a telephone, but who calls it a telephone? My cell phone? I don't know. It's a telephone. Anyway, you can see I've got a few copies. I found this one. This was at Dumb Records, which is in Springfield, Illinois. If you haven't been there before, if you're driving through Springfield, be sure and stop in at Dumb Records. It's a good place. They also set me up with a good copy of Devo Freedom of Choice and gave me a little bit of a discount when I was complaining that somebody had written their name on it. So anyway, but this is another one I found. I think I got this one. I think I got this one at Vintage Vinyl here in town. But Bill Nelson used to be, of course, he was in Bebop Deluxe. They have different iterations of this now. I just bought like a deluxe thing that wasn't too expensive. I just can't spend too much on an album. I just don't. There you go. Now they have one that's like the complete, it says the complete red noise. So I'm like, well, it's kind of complete. The next Bill Nelson album that came out after that was supposed to be, is my understanding, was supposed to be the next Red Noise album, but it became a Bill Nelson record, and I like it a lot. But I would like to have seen the Red Noise project continue. It was great stuff. So anyway, I'm going to start with some of these. Remember, these are all from the bargain bin. And in fact, I got to make sure that I have this picture ready to go. Let's see. Where is it? Okay, it's right there. All right. So I got this picture ready. So, because there was something strange that happened afterwards, and it deals with the woman who I just found on Facebook post. She's Lady Evil, is what she goes by. I think she fronts a metal band as well. So I'll see if I can get her on the show sometime soon. So anyway, these were I bought these mainly for the covers, which I don't know how I can get away with the last one. Really, you bought it for the cover? Um, First of all, this one is done by Stan Watts. He's a guy who has done album covers for Anthrax, Quiet Riot, Night Ranger, and this one is Martin Briley, One Night with a Stranger. A brilliant, brilliant cover and actually the painting involves Martin Briley's picture right there. So yeah, a great album. This has, of course, this has his hits, which is the "Salt in My Tears" is on here, and see they wrote their name on it. It's Laurie Smith. So hopefully she doesn't call me and go, "Somebody ripped that off." That's my record. I'll be like, "Okay, I'm sorry." Yeah, maybe somebody's got my records. So here's another one I bought for the cover because I framed the City to City album in a box of stuff that I got from what I call the garage grab. There was a copy of Jerry Rafferty's City to City. And this one, as you can see at the top, there's a little bit of, it's like I don't know, something drug across it and kind of damaged the top. but the rest of it is okay. And it looks like a used record, so that's great. But it is Night Owl by Jerry Rafferty, the follow up to City to City. So he had a couple of tracks on here that were somewhat popular. Days Gone Down. Um, let's see, what was the other one? Go Get It Right Next Time. Uh, so yeah, a couple of great songs, great album. Um, and yeah, just had to have that cover. Jim Fitzpatrick did that cover, and the City to City, and of course, there you go. Had to, you know, it was there. Scorpions, for crying out loud. The vinyl is not in great condition. That's why I was in the bargain bin. So anyway, but those were inexpensive. Let's take a look. I don't even know what the prices were. $4 for the one, 5 for the other, 4 for the other. You know, so I'm like, yeah, that's cheap enough. So I got all the rest of them are bagged up. I bagged them up. I'll start with part of the pile here. We've got Bachman Turner Overdrive 2. I thought this looked like it was in great condition. What was this? $4? $5? $3. Okay, it's getting better. But look how great condition. Doesn't even have it doesn't even have a ring wear up here. I'm just like, wow. All right. I'm down with that. How about some Boomtown Rats? This is a promotional copy, which means probably didn't get played a lot. On top of that, it gets a free bonus 22 by 33 poster included of the band members. So yeah, so this was great to get Mondo Bongo, and this is obviously it's got Elephant's Graveyard, which is also, I believe that song is on a double album sealed that I got for $5 in Florida called Exposed. And it was from Columbia Records and it had a bunch of their artists on it, including Adamant, Judas Priest. Let's see. And it was Adamant when it was Adam and the Ants back then. Um, Ian Gom is on there and a bunch of others. I talked about it on the show before. Loverboy's on it, as a matter of fact. So anyway, but they had Elephant Graveyard is on there, and yeah. So there you go. Yeah. All right. And then this one, I did find a copy of this used in the boxes that I got from the garage grab. But this one looked like it was in good condition. And how much was it? $5. And this was from back when I was riding my bike, and my bike was my best friend, right? And listening to my transistor radio, Jackson Brown, running on empty. Great album, great songs, and was glad to get that for that price. What did I say about this? What did I say about the $3 for the Boomtown Rats? Crazy. Now, this is the one I was really excited about. All right. So yeah, my friend's over taking a look, right? So he's taking a look at the bargain section. I'd walked away for something. I don't remember what it was. Um, but he lifts this thing out and it's in great condition. Again, not a heavy ring wear. There is some ring wear, and we'll have to see what the vinyl's like. I'll be cleaning it. I'll be doing a video with you guys cleaning over there, because I know I'm going to do tomorrow's show from here, and I have that announcement coming up. But because there's no way I'm going to get everything moved unless I stay up all night, and I wanted to do that last night, and there was no way I was going to do it. I got to the end of the night and I'm like, what the hell? I'm not going to do that. All right. So anyway, he lifts this thing out of the bin and it's beautiful. It's a gatefold, and wait till you see who's on it. I mean, if you're really into classic rock, you're already going to know. This is not going to be a big surprise, but look at this. California Jam 2. Is this amazing? Look at that. Let's do the gatefold. Let's show the whole cover together here. There you go. Think about that. It's beautiful, right? So there it is. And then on the inside, here we go. Killer stuff. So you see, you've got Aerosmith, Santana, Ted Nugent, Hart, Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush, and Dave Mason. And it also includes, I have to remember, see if I can see what this is. Um, mm, 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 mm. Oh, yeah, Jean-Michel Jarre is on here, or Jarre, and Rubicon is on here as well. So really, really cool. I flipped out when he showed this to me. And then to see what good condition it was in, I was flipping out about that. So really, really cool stuff. Um, Contains 2 records. Uh, content, 2 discs. 2 discs. Anyway, I'll put that back in the sleeve here in a little bit. Now, here's another one that was, this thing sealed. I haven't heard it. I need to look it up and I need to listen to it. But I don't know. I may leave it sealed. I'm not sure. Mark Farner, Just Another Injustice. How about that? There you go. Still sealed. Had it for $8. I'm like, cool. Oh, and just to let you know, the California Jam, sorry, I keep forgetting this. The California Jam album was $6. $6. It's like I say, I'm not the guy that needs to spend a crap ton of money on a used record and then go, ooh, I got that. You know, it cost me $100. I'm like, shit. I'm the guy who goes, see what I got? Cost me $6. Double album, $6. That's what I'm looking for. Anyway, this is another one that I bought recently at a good bargain. This one was $3. It has a big hit on it called Steppin' Out, and it is Joe Jackson, Night and Day. It looked like it was in great shape. No ring wear, just a little bit of dirt on the cover down here, nothing much, you know, right there in the white, right there. So, but I'm like, yeah, that's a great gift album. If the vinyl's in good shape, that's a good gift album. A little something to give to somebody. All right, this one I'm really excited about. I kind of bought it for the cover because I've already got a copy of it. I probably have 3 copies of this, but I just had to get it, and it was produced by Mutt Lange, who also produced AC/DC and The Cars and many others, and used to be married to Shania Twain. Why he let her go, I don't know. Still would like to know what the heck happened there. Not that I really super care, not in a gossipy way. I'm just like, really? So anyway, power couple. Really? Okay. Anyway, it was a cutout at the time. It's a great record though. Outlaws, Playing to Win. It's got You Are the Show on here, and every other song on this album I love. I heard this, a friend of mine had it. This one cost $3. So looked like it was in good shape. It's in better shape than one of them that I found. I think I may have found a copy of this in the garage grab. But man, it's beautiful and a great record. If you've never heard this, do it today. If you dig your Southern rock, this one, because Mutt Lange produced it, has a little more of a, I don't know. It has a little more of a pop sound to it than some of the other albums. However, it's got more of a rock sound than some of the others too. So there you go. It's kind of like the transition that happened with Henry Paul, who used to be in the Outlaws. Um, but it's like Henry Paul when they went from Grey Ghost, and he started realizing that the guitar end and the rock end was coming in. They did Feel the Heat, which in my ears, it's a better fit. I like that album a lot more than Grey Ghost, but it is a departure, and it didn't please one of the members either. He didn't like the transition. He didn't dig it too much, but that's rock and roll, right? So so let me put this up. Let me see how I want to do this. Okay, so So we're in there, and I think one of the first records my friend pulls out of the bargain bin is this next album. Now, here's the weird thing. I would be home, or I'd be hanging out at his place because I spent the night there and then drove back the next day. But um, I'd be sitting there because I was on the couch, so it's not the usual place I sleep. So I'm not sleeping as soundly as usual. But here I am looking through Facebook, and I see this picture after I had purchased this. I've never had this on vinyl, have it on CD, and I bought it on cassette back in 1982 when it came out. This is difficult to cure. If you remember my guest who just had a birthday on Halloween, Russ Ballard, you remember I mentioned that he wrote I Surrender, which is the first track on this record. And the first thing I ever heard, most of us ever heard, um, Rainbow fans ever heard from Joe Lynn Turner. So so that was cool. Then I'm on Facebook and there's this gal called Lady Evil. And look at this. I about flipped out. I'm like, uh, oh, I think that was her post that day. Like, I just bought that record. So it's great to have it on vinyl. I'm eager to see what the quality is, how good the record is still. $5. $5. It's got a little bit of a ring wear there, nothing much, nothing different than normal, right? So sorry, I don't know why my video is popping out. Um, so yeah, in great shape. Little bit of a ring wear up there, but again, the usual, nothing major. But oh my God, I Surrender, Spotlight Kid, No Release, Magic, and then it's got Can't Happen Here, Freedom Fighter. Let me see, what is that one? Midtown Tunnel Vision and Difficult to Cure. Just such such a great album. So I flipped out. I was very excited to find that. It's got a little bit of a bend crease down here at the corner too, but nothing. Again, nothing major. Otherwise, I'd have been like, screw that. It's in crap shape. But yeah. Now here's one of the first ones that I found, um, and it's the soundtrack to Rollerball. Which notice the font is very Scorpions-ish. And there was also a book that was put out called back in the day called Future Shock. Future Shock? Yeah, I think it's Future Shock. And used that kind of font too. But yeah, Rollerball, the original with James Caan. I I really wish this had the Roger Williams. You can look it up on YouTube. Um, it's out there. It's not in great condition. I have a 45 that I'm going to record one of these days and try to get some of the crap out of it. Or I'm gonna hope that somebody I'm gonna look up Roger Williams and see if maybe there's um, a collection of stuff that's been remastered, put on CD, that kind of thing, of the theme song that he did. He did like a pop version of it. So hopefully that'll be out there. Sorry about that. Again, I don't understand why it's doing that. Anyway, so here we go. This next one is Pete Townsend and Ronnie Lane. This is in great condition, cover wise at least. I have to check the vinyl. This one was $6. Um, but the difference in this, and I'm going to double check it to mine because one of the reasons I bought it was because I don't think mine copy that I bought years ago, I don't think it's a gatefold. So there's the gatefold. So I thought that was cool. My Baby Gives It Away. That was the big track at the time. Misunderstood was another song that I knew well off of this record, but a great record. Um, but I bought it. I bought it for My Baby Gives It Away. So I'm eager to see. I'll let you know. I'm sorry. I should have grabbed that out. My apologies. I should have grabbed that out and checked to see if it was there, if it was a gatefold. Now these two I own already. Um, but they were in good condition for $3 for this one. Winwood. All right. This is the one that has roll with it, I do believe. Is that right? No. Is that right? Yeah, this has roll with it, and there's another hit that was on this album as well. As I played this on the radio. Um, mm, 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 mm. Holding On, was that a hit too? I don't know, but I'm only seeing one on there that I recognize as a hit. So $3 for that. It was in great condition. Also, let's see how much this one was. Forgetting. This was $5, and it's still sealed. Back in the High Life. Um, this one I bought. I think I bought it in one of the Columbia House Club things. Um, but yeah, this one has Higher Love. You know what? Uh, this is the album that I played when I was on the radio. It had Higher Love and Back in the High Life again. Both were hits. And I don't think there's any other hits off of this one. So yeah, and then he did the other one. Yeah, so Back in the High Life. Great album. Still sealed. Now, the last two that I have here are the ones that I found in that crate right before we left, and I could not believe I found them. One was $9.99 and the other one was $7.99. The reason the other one was $7.99 is because there's a mild um there's a mild moisture warp to the back of the cover, but it's not like it's torn up or messed up because of it. It's just got a little bit of that moisture warpage to it. But let me see which one it comes first. Let's see. That's the one with the warpage a little bit there. And I'll show that to you. But this one looks perfectly fine. It is a picture disc of Who Are You? Can you believe that? I could not. I mean, I flipped out. So there's this one, and there you go. 2 copies. I'm like, well, I'm not buying one of them. I'm buying them both because the other one was just $7.99. So I'm like, yeah, I'll get it. And then see if you can see this. I don't know if you can see it a little bit here. You can see where it's got a little bit of when the sheen goes across, you can see a little bit of the warp happening right there. There you go. So yeah, you can kind of catch it. But it's not horrible. It's all there. You can see everything. It's not like it's some of them I found what did I find? It's right. Oh, it was On Your Feet or On Your Knees, the live album by Blue Oyster Cult, from back when they were on their yeah, sure, the earlier tour. Anyway, Agents of Fortune tour. Good job. Good job. So I did find a copy of that. I'm like, oh my God, I was just going to get it for the cover. And then I picked it up and there was all that, white because the cover had been torn off because it was wet and it was probably stuck to another record. And when you pulled it off, it just pulled off the front. So, and I thought, well, what's the inside? Yeah, never mind. The inside was exactly the same. And the back of the cover was exactly the same. So I'm like, forget it. I don't need it. So anyway, 2 copies of a picture disc of Who Are You? Just about lost it over that. Not like I was crying or anything, but well, maybe a little on the inside. So anyway, also, so that was great. Awesome pickups. Check them out. Hit Records, downtown Columbia, Missouri. And just, go by the shop next door, get a coffee if you want, if that's what you're into, and pop right next door and keep your coffee safe. And, look at some great vinyl there. Also talked to a couple of young guys there too. They had mentioned there was a copy of the Donnie Darko soundtrack on vinyl there. And the guy's like, oh yeah, we ought to watch Donnie Darko. That's a really good movie. And I said, it is a great movie. And so we got to talk to them a little bit too. So that was fun. Another thing that I was wanting to mention to you guys is I watched a movie called, I think it was on Amazon. You can watch it on Amazon Prime. And it's called Roadie. and it's called The Documentary, but the is scratched out and it's my documentary. So it was interesting. Had some good stuff in there. So if you're ever thinking about being a roadie, I've thought about it, and it's an interesting movie about that. And but I, the only thing that I told my friend yesterday when we were hanging out, the only thing that was lacking for me is I thought he was going to talk more about his short career as a roadie, but he never really seemed like he told the whole story of what he did, because he went from starting off with these um, young bands, because he was kind of did it right after college, I think. So he um, and then he ended up working with Kiss, and I was like, okay, I want to kind of see that gradual climb. It's a little over an hour. It could probably have been a little longer in order for him to tell us that. I don't know. There was one scene that was kind of dramatic, and I was like, I get how that's important, I would suppose, to your story, but I don't know. But in it, I mentioned this to tell you about that. So if you want to watch it, it does have some cool stuff. If you're really into documentaries about music and stuff like that, like I am. And but in the midst of it, there was this Bobo Wargo, who is at that time was a stage manager with Rob Thomas. Now, if you see his shirt, you can see where it says, I think it says the, and then it's ballroom. But down below here, it's telling you that it's here in St. Louis. This is a T-shirt of my friend's bar and pinball place. It's like there's two shotgun rooms. There's pinball on one side and the bar on the other. You walk into the bar, down the shotgun room, and then you go into the next shotgun room, and it's full of pinball machines all the way down. So, but it's called the Silver Ballroom. So that's the logo and the T-shirt right there. I've got one of those T-shirts. So when I was watching his interview, I'm like, hey. So I sent him a picture of that and said, hey, look at this. Were you aware? So I haven't heard back yet. So hopefully he was aware. That would be cool. Um, so I don't know. Let's see what this. Let me see if I can put this video in. It didn't transfer very well. So okay, it says it's a bit too large. Let me see if I can do a video file this away. Okay, so hold on just a second. Let's see how this is going to look in here. Might not look as bad as I think. I don't know. All right, so you can see it there. And let me take the volume down on the sound a little bit here. I put a little ambient sound in there. So anyway. All right. So this is the listening room. All right. You can see it's a mess. So I'm getting ready to move some of this stuff out of there. I got pictures galore that need to go up on the wall. Here's the record player. You're going to see my hand. So I'm showing you that gear is going to go over there. All right. So the TV's got to go. It's going to have to go to the garage. There's a little TV there. That's what's going to go on top, because I'm going to put it on top of a big cabinet. So let me pause this for a second. I said I was going to pause it for a second, not back it up. So I have an 810 cab, which I think I've told you about, which was made into, it's like a deep Ampeg 810 cab, which they used on stage at Riverport with one of the acts there, and they put a refrigerator inside of it. So while they were on stage, they could just open up the refrigerator on stage. It looks like an Ampeg amp, and you open it up, and it's got a fridge, and he had beer and stuff in there. So he could get a beer on stage. So that was cool. So that's what I'm going to use. I was thinking I was going to have to get rid of it, and I'm like, you know what? If I just cut some of the front off of it, enough to, to handle the depth of this stereo gear, then I could put it over there on the wall. I just didn't want to have a big footprint coming off the wall there. So all that stereo equipment will go inside of it over there. Those shelves will go. I know you've already seen this with the TV, and there's a little TV. So the little TV will fit on top. So I'll have a little bit of a monitor up there. Granted, I could hang that TV on a wall somewhere else, but all right. And I got pictures and posters I got to put up. All that stuff is going to stay the same. I got to fix that Ampeg sign though. And all those pictures, and there's all my vinyl, and there's some glass block. I need to put some lights in that so then it will light up. And then I'm going to put all of those things. I got to get those hung up on the wall. Got those, got to hang those up. Got to get rid of that massage table out of this room. It's got to go in the other room. So you can kind of see what my new project is there. And I got to move it out of here. That stuff's got to go and figure out where that's going to go. Yay on the speakers. Those are some classic speakers that that I have and I got from my cousin after he passed. And they're Klipsch speakers. So they're nice speakers. I hope they work. I don't know if they work. I have to check with a friend of mine. It's going to help me check that out. So anyway, that's the latest on the shift in the basement. And then we have, look at this, hold on. What's the worst package you've ever been delivered? This thing showed up on the doorstep. I could tell when I drove into my driveway that it was in terrible shape. And I'm like, did Ace Ventura deliver this thing? Look at this. Look at that. It's just brutal. It's been totally knocked about. It's got holes in it and stuff over here. Look at these two puncture holes. Like, I don't know. I'm like, it was Halloween. Did a vampire get a hold of this? I don't know. It's terrible, but it is what it is. I don't know. And then I got this package too. So we'll see what we've got. I have a feeling I know what this is, and it's so much smaller than I thought it would be. There is a little bit of a detail to it that I knew about when I purchased it. But let's see what we've got here. And a bunch of my stuff just fell, which is not a big deal. I'll pick it up, but still, it's like, dang it. All right, let's get our knife, which is a classic Martini and Rossi. Look at that. Family of fine wines. Oh my God. I wonder if Martini and Rossi is still around. Does anybody know? Yeah, I got this when I worked in the liquor store back home. The same liquor store where I went to go get my paycheck and some dude hit my car and ran. Thank God for my friend John across the way who was painting. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I'll have to figure out what to do with this. I'll open it up and I'll show you what it is. And the inside contents are really what's important here. But I don't know, man. The box is damaged and I don't like that. I didn't pay for damaged stuff. So I'm going to have to contact somebody about this, which I hate. I hate having to do that. Because, I don't know, it takes time. And they're like, sometimes they're like, well, check with the shipper. I'm like, I'm not checking with the shipper. You hired them. You deal with them. That's not my job. So I finally ordered this. God. Holy hell's bells. Okay, I'm just going to have to cut the damn box. Or rip it. Look at that. What do you think? Does that look damaged enough to you? It's the Iron Maiden Eddie Advent calendar. And I do believe, God, this is so. Let's do ourselves a favor, shall we? Before I get to opening this, let's take some photos. Because, man, this is brutal. You and I can do this together. All right. This looks like crap. There. Oh, for gosh sakes. There. Wow, that's terrible. Woo, mama. That side looks better. It's the backside. It looks better. So anyway, I had to, you know, did I have to get this? No. Did I really want to get it? Yeah. So I did. So there. Yeah. Um, okay. So I think I got enough pictures for the court. Um, you can't even use this thing as an Advent thing anymore. It is just I I just realized I'm thinking, oh, you open up the box and then you take out the whole thing. No, you open that. This is perforated. You're supposed to pull off one of the doors at a time. You can see where this looks like poopity crap, also known as shit. Wow. Trust me, they they really blow these pictures. They really the pictures make these things look huge. And this is now. I thought this was okay. No, I thought it was the 3D version, which is not a. This is not a bad situation because the 2D versions are cool too. So anyway, I'll kind of go through that later. Let's see what the heck this thing is. I don't remember what this is. I think it might be a shirt. We'll see. Comes in an interesting box, like a clothes box. Remember that when you get those presents under the tree at Christmas, or get something for your birthday, and it's in that long box. You're like, here comes a sweater, or maybe a gaggle of socks. Oh no! Look how nice this is. All right, so here we go. We got a nice box, right? Why the hell they didn't ship that thing like this, I have no clue. But look at that nice box, and that's what it is. This one is the Legends of Rock and Metal calendar, Advent calendar, and it's still intact, so you can pull off each of the days. Look at that. All right, so let's take a quick look at that. These are 2D as well, so it's the same. They make them 2D and 3D, and I was like, oh, it's a 2D thing. But I thought, oh, I had a great idea for it, and the price was right. So I had a great idea what to do with these. These are like little acrylic shrinky dink things. It's like they had them in there, and now they're tiny, teeny tiny. So be sure and make sure you catch that when you're seeing these Advent. You'll see them online, and it's got a. Every time I see these, it's not somebody like me looking at it. It's it's these parents handing it to their little kid, a daughter, or their little son, but sometimes they're handing it to the and they're like, here you go. Wouldn't you love to have Ozzy Osbourne and Angus Young? And I mean, my kids, yeah, but not everybody's kids are gonna want that. I thought it was cool because it had like this Tony Iommi one in there. So what I thought was I would either I'll make it into a mobile for my grandson, but what I thought I'd do is make like a uh, I'd make a clock out of them. So because there's a bunch, so I kind of thought about doing that. You could put them into a group, certain groups, however you wanted to do it, and I'm trying to think of how many of these are bass players. Because there's like four of them that would go together really well, or there's three that would go together really well right now, but I'd need a fourth, and it would have to be a bass player, but I don't see a bass player other than Gene Simmons, Lemmy, and Nikki Sixx. You put all those on one. That would thought would be cool, but yeah. So anyway, 2D. So I'll kind of go through those later. All right. Well, an interesting pair of packages there. Totally destroyed and looking nice, but not as cool as the other one. It's interesting. But do check that out. When you see these Advent things, make sure that you see 3D or 2D on it. And I swore that the Iron Maiden one said 3D. That's why I ordered it. But screwed again. So anyway, we'll see. Maybe I'll just turn it back in since that's the way it is. All right, guys. Well, I better get rolling. I got an appointment coming up here with a friend. So I will let you get rolling. I hope the rest of your day goes super well. And it's Thursday. Now, tomorrow, come back. We're going to have, it'll be in the early afternoon, probably around 1 o'clock Central is when I'm going to probably do this. The brand new album from Blitz from the UK. It's Rock City Symphony is the name of the album. It comes out tomorrow. So what I'm going to do, I have permission from the band, of course, because they do independent thing. And so just come on back, and we're going to be listening to the whole album. Now, the album is it's just under 40 minutes. So, I mean, we might end up just doing it, twice. So come on back and check in. And we'll be listening to the whole album of Rock City Symphony tomorrow. Might have some things to say in between the songs and things like that. And we'll go from there. But in the meantime, always my many thanks for hanging out here at Hammer Away for some fun interviews and discussions about the music, that I love, that you love. And, if you got any questions, comments, just put them in the comments below, chime in, and let me know what you think, and we'll keep going from there. And we'll just keep getting some better content and things like that. So let's keep rocking this train down the tracks together. What do you think about that? So, all right, remember, every day we step out of our houses, let's make sure we remember that we're in everybody else's world and they're not in ours. So it's cool. If you're helping somebody out, you can help somebody out. If you can do something in between to help somebody, that's a great thing to do. And kind of working that stuff out with my neighbor. I'm helping him with some stuff. He's going to help me with some stuff. And that's usually the way it works. All right, guys, take it easy.
Can you
Appreciate
dig it?
you.